Do we on set and we gonna start it off with this Browns in these drafts. This rough draft. We're gonna do a little rough draft. Like, what would you do if you could take care of the draft? What do you think the Browns is gonna do? And what should they do? So I guess what would you do and what should they do is kind of the same thing to an extent. But I don't know, sometimes our personal opinions is actually different than what's actually needed. So it could be different. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree. Well, I'm gonna keep my hood on this evening because I feel like it's a hoodie decision. We need to make Bill Belichickian type decisions for this team.
Bill Belichickian, you say? With
Bill Belichickian.
I'm just saying
type decision.
We talking about the draft, not the Super Bowl or a season.
I am still with the unpopular move of if we do not, and I'm not impressed by none of the quarterbacks. We need a quarterback. That's the main thing we really need. We need a quarterback. Everybody knows this, but yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Do we not?
Yo,
do we not? Do we not?
What? See, I got a very different. I would say this. I agree. We need a quarterback. Mm-hmm. But is it our most pressing need? That's where I'm at. Is it our most pressing need? Yeah. And number two, we have to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
No.
No. We don't have to. No. We don't have to take a quarterback number two. That's my whole thing. I'm not impressed by any quarterback in this draft. And I don't want to make a knee-jerk reaction. You have to also think that the guys that's in charge, they're fighting for their jobs right now.
And about the guys in charge, you talking about the front office? You talking about
Stefanski and Barry are fighting for their jobs right now.
I don't think they are. I don't think they're fighting for their jobs.
No, they are.
A stable organization? For what? Why?
If they don't get it right, at least in the right direction, it's over with.
Why? You know what? Only, but that's a need.
6 years at that point.
It'll be 6 years, but what position are they in? Because we know what the bottom of the barrel look like, right?
Yes.
So, do they look like the bottom of the barrel?
No.
Okay.
I don't want.
So why make a drastic change?
No, that's not a drastic change.
That is a drastic change.
When you have 6 years, you don't have it right. Then.
But what is right? Is progress? Doing a little bit better every year, and sometimes even when you fall back, we
don't know, right? Because we're the Cleveland Browns. We have not had it right since 1999.
And so maybe we don't need to keep doing what we've been doing, and that is firing someone every 5 years. Maybe that's exactly the problem, is that we never give anybody a chance. And Cleveland is different, right?
This is the NFL.
It is, but this is Cleveland.
This is the NFL. That is how the NFL works.
No. That's bullshit. That's what people say to make you think that's how the NFL works. But when you look at real franchises who control shit and who keep a good team going, they don't change every 5 to 6 years. They don't. But we get off topic a little bit. We talking about the draft.
Yes, sir.
But with the draft coming up this year, and number two, I don't think we need a quarterback, right?
No.
And
I agree.
I know a lot of people don't trust Andrew Berry to make the decision. But when I look at Andrew Berry, it's been playing while we going. These are his draft picks. He's gave us a lot of good players, a lot of solid players on our team, man, that we can work with, man. Like even now that's coming up, Emerson, Alex Wright, just switched again. Michael Hall Jr., I think he got a big future. Cedric Tillman, I like him. DeWine Jones. I mean, every draft you look out of 6 rounds, 7 rounds. As a GM, what you supposed to get like 2 or 3 picks, right? Where you actually have NFL talent. Because most draft picks are what? Washouts. But he's given us a lot of NFL talent. And not even players even a lot of the players on here that we might say he missed on, Harrison Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Elliott. They went to other teams to play. They didn't just get washed out to NFL.
I mean, and a lot of the players that Barry came in with, we discussed this earlier, were Dorsey picks and
Sasha Brown.
Sasha.
No. Not a lot are Dorsey picks. 1 year was Dorsey picks, and those are not even here anymore.
But
that was Baker Mayfield.
They were a mixture. of Dorsey
Sashi
and
Brown.
Sashi Brown picks.
No, no.
And I totally forgot about Sashi.
But Sashi Brown made the
totally
picks that we
forgot
give
about
Dorsey
Sashi.
credit for.
Yeah.
Sashi Brown, because
Yeah.
I was doing it.
Yes.
I was giving
Yep.
Dorsey for credits for Myles
You are
Garrett
correct.
and for Njoku
Yeah.
and
Those were Sashi
Chubb.
picks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Those were Sashi
No,
picks.
matter of fact, I got to go back and look. Chubb might actually been Ken
Chubb
Dorsey.
was a Dorsey.
He was a Dorsey pick. Him
Chubb was
and
a
Baker
Dorsey
Mayfield was Dorsey
Dorsey
picks.
pick.
But Miles, Denzel Ward even, that was Sashi Brown. He came in,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, during the Sashi Brown era.
Yeah.
So,
and when you brought that up earlier, I'm like, you know what, you're right.
yeah, I had to
So
go look back.
I won't lie, I forgot all about
So,
that.
with all of this knowledge that we've gathered and we know about Sashi Brown, Ken Dorsey, Andrew Berry, now with their draft picks. Draft pick number 2, you say quarterback. Who is the quarterback? You're not impressed with any of them, but so who are you picking number 2?
If I can't get Travis,
Okay. Oh,
I trade back and gain me some capital. I can trade back to number 5 or 6.
yeah, we have
And
our
get a bunch more capital.
No,
get
we
a
don't-
lot more capital.
a
I
bunch
can
more.
trade back to 5 or 6 and get more
bunch
capital
more
because I'm still
garbage.
going to get who I want. Why waste that pick with that person that I
No.
want?
Why not add to that pick? You know, just to say something though. We agree on something. Ding ding. Hold on. We actually agree on something because I too believe Travis Hunter should be the number 2 pick. Travis Hunter, and then see, this is where we differ at though. You say that we should trade down. I say we should trade up. I say we need to trade up. We need to get another pick within that top 5. Top 10 at the very least, but top 5. Take the best available quarterback or the best available defensive end to go with Myles Garrett.
Correct. I will not. I don't disagree.
All right. Myles Garrett said, I want to see a plan. Well, you know what a plan is for him? You got Hall Jr., who he likes. You got McGuire, who he likes. You got, if JOK comes back and is good, you got him, he likes him. Our secondary is solid. So our secondary is so solid that we can trade off some of them.
That's what we need to spend. This is
You know what I'm saying?
This is a meat and potatoes draft.
No, it's some real talent in this draft.
No,
It's just not quarterback talent. And I like Shador.
Meat and potatoes draft.
I like Shador.
We can get everything solid in the front and get future and get depth.
Future, but you
and
just
get depth
see. This is what I don't understand.
in the front
This is what I don't understand.
with this draft.
If we're going to keep a constant,
and a running back, we need a running back.
yeah, but we can pick them up second, third round, stuff like that. We can pick up a running back.
I'll take a running back if we can get a stud in the second. I'll take one. But
Yeah.
I'll take one.
I mean,
in the
for
third.
real,
We definitely need to take one in the third.
And there are a lot of running backs coming out the draft, and because of how running backs are now, kind of manufactured.
Yep.
There are a lot of running backs that we can pick up in the 3rd round, 4th round. I mean, you got to remember, I want to say we picked Chubb up in the early 3rd round.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, did we? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say he was the early 3rd round.
The first one in the
Right.
third.
So, and Chubb, we have to retire him as a Brown. But, so with the draft, you saying pick number 2 is who?
I mean, we can get,
You keep not saying who you would pick at
if-
number 2.
If we cannot get Travis.
Okay, Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we
And
cannot
then-
get Travis
All right,
Hunter,
we're good. Hunter. I'm agreeing with that. Hunter.
I'll deal with that. I go for it. That's
Now-
the best. That's the best athlete in the draft.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, get Hunter.
Hands down.
And then
So
from
but
there,
if he's there
you-
at 2, if you get him, I won't be mad.
you saying trade down, trade some of our
Trade
other picks.
back. So like,
But wait,
No.
you can't take Hunter and trade back.
No. Yeah. So if we take the number 2 pick,
We
let's
got
trade.
to.
Yeah.
Because you need Hunter.
Well, if he's there,
You
we
need.
get him.
Why would he be?
If he's not there,
So you saying that you think that Travis Hunter might be the first overall pick?
it's possible.
Hey, that'd be
It is
crazy.
very possible.
That'd be wild.
It is very possible.
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move. That'd be wild.
It's very
Oh, wait.
possible.
Before we leave this, what do you think the Browns are going to do? We kind of talked about. Well, we didn't even talk about what they should do.
I think we're going to take that number 2. We're going to be somewhere still in the top 10. And we're going to get a 2nd rounder and the 1st rounder next year.
Okay. All right.
We're making business decisions.
I mean, business decisions at this point for me is
We're making business
there is
decisions.
no 2026. Andrew Berry has a very solid drafting. If you ask me, he's drafted some solid players, especially to not draft in the first 2 rounds. He got some players on the team that are NFL talent.
He's hit or miss, just like every other GM.
Well, that's the part of being a GM.
Just like every other GM, though. So I can't hold that against.
But the fact that he hits on so much NFL talent on later rounds.
Does he really?
Plus, yeah, he does, and the proof is in the pudding. A lot of these players that we like, he's gotten in 3rd round or later. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. Past that,
that's right.
If you take out the Deshaun Watson trade, which everybody calls the worst trade in the world, I say it's the most aggressive, and I like the aggressiveness behind it. Why? Why? I mean, Washington and San Fran gave up. Shit.
Where was the return?
No, well, the return for us.
How much did we give, and where was the return?
So the return for us,
how much did we give, and where was the return?
The return for us was the same thing that it was for any team in Cleveland's particular situation. You need foundation. You need stability. For the past 6 years, 3 years with Baker, 3 years with Deshaun, the one thing we have not had to look at and think about even until today is drafting a quarterback or worrying about the quarterback position. Whether it was good or bad, we never had to worry about the quarterback position for the last 6 years, and we hadn't had that in almost 20 years. So, to me, it worked out. It didn't work out the way we planned.
I don't understand how you feel like we didn't have to worry about the quarterback situation in the last 6 years.
Because we made the playoffs.
We're getting off the rails.
Yeah. We're going to stay on this.
Yeah, we're getting off the rails.
For the draft, yeah, I hope that they stay aggressive. I like the move. I personally like the move for Deshaun. I personally like the aggression behind it and the commitment behind it because for a franchise like Cleveland, it was showing that we get into winning now. You know what I'm saying? It was a beacon throughout the rest of the league. So from that point, I hope they stay aggressive in this draft. I would trade off a lot of the 6th round picks and even a 2026 pick. Get rid of that. Get us back in the top 10, top 5. Take the best DL or quarterback because the Browns are not that far away, if you ask me. They're not as close as people thought we was, but they're not as far as people try and make us either. All right, we're going to move on to the next set. Give me 1 second. I told you this is going to be a rough trip. We're doing some new shit tonight. Here we go. All right, so we got to talk about what happened last night, and the trade deadline is coming up. Do the Cavs have enough? Should they be active participants at the trade deadline? I love what I'm seeing, but should they be trying to tweak this team in some ways because they don't have what it takes to get a championship?
Like, we have our blemishes. We do. We have our blemishes.
Yeah.
And we will get exposed at times by the better team.
Small ball.
We are not the only good team.
Yeah, we're one of the best, but we're not the only good one.
We're not the only good team.
But
we will get exposed, but I don't feel like we do. I feel like they just need to learn from the losses that they actually get.
Right.
And try to figure out if there is a switch. That's my word. Like, is this what they're going to go through and are there at their zenith right? But is there another gear?
Already?
Or is there another gear? But is there another gear?
Yeah.
We will not know that until the playoffs. But can they kick it into another gear? If they got one more gear, they can take it.
And we definitely got another gear that we can hit, and
if they got one
we
more
will
gear,
find
I feel
that
like they can take it.
before the playoffs.
That gear.
That they're looking for right now is the Cavs work real well when either the team is working well and being aggressive, or Donovan Mitchell is being aggressive and setting them up. But they haven't shown the ability for the team to be aggressive and Donovan Mitchell be aggressive, and they show up against good teams.
I disagree.
Well, the good teams are the small ball teams that we have problems with.
I feel like sometimes they just damn tired. Even with the rotation that they got.
Here you go with the tired. There's no There are young men, professional athletes.
Before the All-Star break.
There's no such thing as tired. Everybody's tired. No, athletes, professional athletes don't get tired. Okay,
Winners do.
They may get
winners get tired of whooping everybody's butt.
Well, No. See, now you about to make me sound like the sports guy I don't like to sound like, but they haven't won anything yet. You've done okay, but you haven't done anything yet.
You just won a regular game.
For your goal, you haven't done anything yet. You know? Oh, you know what?
They don't.
We live, but we can brighten it up a little bit. There we go.
Yeah. Nothing really matters until mid-May.
No. Everything matters because this is positioning right now. You're jockeying for position. The Cavs and the Thunder have a great opportunity right now to be the number 1 seed when the finals start. See, it's not Major League Baseball, and it's not the NFL. NFL, it don't matter where your record at because the Super Bowl can be played on a neutral ground or your home field if you got you know what I'm saying, if you do that.
That's why I do
baseball. You win it at the All-Star game. Basketball, it's whoever got the best record in that series. So it's very important what they do right now. But right now the names in the trade deadline is
Who do you think? Who you got in the East and who do you have in the West?
What coming out?
And you guys chime in too. Like, come on, reach out to us. Like, give us some feedback. Who y'all got in the East? Who y'all got in the West?
Right. Put that in the comments and let us know because
let's hear something.
I'm really looking at. I think the Cavs will take the East. If it's not the Cavs, it won't be Boston. I think it'll be something like the Knicks or some kind of off-brand team like that. The Bucks. The Knicks or the Bucks.
He said the Knicks.
Yeah. Oh, the Knicks is number 3 right now, and the Bucks I want to say is 4 or 5. Knicks or the Bucks. If it's not the Cavs, I don't think it's going to be Boston because I don't know the way things are set up, especially with them being team number 2. They're going to go through such a gauntlet to get to us if we number 1 seed at that point still. I don't know if they're going to make it, especially if everybody is healthy. You got the Sixers who just beat them the other night. You got no, I think they just lost the other night to them.
Yeah,
but you got
I'm not sleeping on Philly.
I mean, Philly, a
I'm
healthy
not
Philly.
On Philly. I'm really not sleeping on Philly.
A healthy Philly is a good team.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping on them. I'm like,
but
they might get it together at some point. They
will they be healthy?
They seem dysfunctional.
They don't. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like Eddie George. I like Maxey, and you got Embiid, but like George and Embiid. Can they even play long enough to make it?
That first of all, and then can they play together if they do play long? Who really gonna do what?
Yeah, I don't.
You know what
I don't see them winning more than one series. When they make it to the playoffs, they're gonna make it to the playoffs, but they get a series because I mean, even if they matched it with a team like Orlando or Indiana, I think that it would be curtains for them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm watching Orlando. Everybody better get the side down, man. They slowly, but surely trying to put the little pieces together down there.
Right? They trying to put something together. So, with all of these Eastern Conference threats, do you believe that the Cavs have enough?
Yes.
Say yes. Okay.
I'm gonna go with a hard yes.
Yes, champions.
I'm gonna go with a hard yes. I would like who could we bring in that?
What a name?
I don't see anybody we can bring in. We just got to figure out better plans and learn as we go. I think this little ragtag team that we put together.
Ragtag
team that we put together.
How dare you?
Can do it.
How dare you disrespect?
We got
4 All-Stars. We got 4 starting All-Stars, sir. That is not a ragtag. They are homegrown.
Ragtag team we put together.
1 trade in. I would say, well, actually 2 trade-ins. We didn't draft Jared.
I mean, it's nothing like we can swap out the bench.
See, this is the thing.
We can swap out the bench.
Depending on who we bring in.
Some of the bench. I don't really want to swap out the bench. It's working.
I don't. I like our bench.
It's working. We don't have anything we really need to fix.
I'm not. Look, Ty Jerome is a player on this team.
It's not broke.
Karis LeVert is a player on this team.
Nothing is broke.
Even now to our rookies like Jalen is a player on this team.
I say we just roll with it. Nothing is broken.
Dean Wade, Max Strus, like we got. I mean, but the thing is,
what we got.
Trade deadline. We're gonna need somebody to compete with the Tatums. If we can figure out how to do it as a team, then great.
But do we have to make a trade at trade deadline because it's trade deadline?
Did you turn your mic on? Mm-hmm. We done went all this time your mic ain't been on? It's green? Oh, let me see it real quick.
It should be on. You got my shit on?
Oh yeah, it's on. Good. All right, just checking. No, it was no, it threw me off. When I turned around, I ain't see the ground. I said, "Oh
right,
shit!"
Good. But no, but like, it's nothing is really broke. We're going to lose games. We're going to lose games.
I mean, for the Cavs to win 70 games this year, but it's just like, and what I didn't mention in the draft, and talking about the draft, the quarterback is cool in the regular season, but what you really need him for is the playoffs. And in the NFL, NBA, excuse me.
You need the general.
That's where you need the wing at. The wing player. I did a little piece on it. You know what I'm saying? I broke it down and showed how many teams that we've just had as champions, how many of the MVPs were wing players for our small forwards. That was the most dominant position out of like the last 20 years of champions. Small forwards. Okay? You got your point guards, you got shooting guards, you got centers. A lot of them was the same player, but the most versatile, where you had different players from different positions. Sometimes it wasn't even the best small forward in the year. It was just a small forward that was playing good ball. And that team will win the championship. For right now, our small forward is kind of like running back committee if it was football. We don't have a dominant or a really small forward we put out there every night to go up against everybody. And I think that what the trade would be. Like the names going on right now is like Cam Johnson and Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram. You know what I'm saying? But like when you brought up the bench, what do we have to give up to get a player like that? Because I don't even think we have really draft capital like that. So we're going to give up quite a bit of bench, maybe a starter, and I don't want to give up no starter.
I would leave it alone.
Unless it's a small forward starter.
Leave it alone.
I mean,
leave it alone.
Stay pat.
Let's just keep figuring it out as we go. Leave it alone. We don't need nothing.
So with the Browns,
now, if there is something off the bench or somebody you want to replace or something like that, that's fine.
Right.
And you want to make some adjustments on that end, that's cool.
Right.
But leave it alone. It's work. It's not broken, bro. It's not broke. So let it work.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Don't fix it. There's nothing to fix. Right. I mean, we just got to take the L's and learn from the losses and learn where our deficiencies are.
Now, let me ask you this. If in a salary cap dump, somebody's trying to get rid of a starting caliber wing, and maybe we give up a future draft pick, and maybe somebody at the very, very, very end of the bench, you on the camera. Do we then take a listen? If we can bring in a Kuzma or somebody for like, I'm trying to think who at the end of our bench who barely get in. See, I don't want Tristan Thompson to go.
No.
He's the veteran who's been here, who's won it with us. He's the old man of the team. So you got to keep him. I can't let go of Ty Jerome. Karis LeVert. Do we give up a Karis LeVert for a Cam Johnson or Kyle Kuzma?
If I can get something else with that.
Something else with that? Okay.
That's our business. I want to touch it. Let's just run what we got. And like I said, this is on the bottom end of the bench. Let's see what we can trade off for that. We're going to entertain.
Maybe some future draft picks or something.
I would entertain every conversation. We got a squad. And people want to, so I'll entertain every conversation.
Yeah.
Every conversation. But.
So, real quick before we leave this topic. I believe last year you kind of spoke on Evan Mobley and Jared not really meshing, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Has your opinion changed on that at all? Because I kept yelling coach, and you kept yelling move one of them. Okay, I didn't know yet.
I was wrong.
Okay, not wrong. You just have difference of opinion. I don't like to do right and wrong, but
I don't know if that's gonna work.
None of us are geniuses. You know what I learned.
I don't know. I didn't know if it was gonna work. Shit work.
It's working with this coach.
Great, and I don't want to fix nothing.
Okay.
Let it. Let that go. Let it do it. Let it blossom.
Say let them go. Let them go.
They still growing.
All right. So this one is a little bit of a theory of mine that's coming up, and let me make sure we're at the right place.
This is water, by the way, guys.
Mine's ain't. It's fire water. I got Cherokee in my blood. Blackfoot too. So
I got Blackfoot.
Yeah, I got Blackfoot.
Yeah, I got Blackfoot.
Hey, you keep leaning out of the camera, man. You gotta lean the other way. Hey, and for all of you funny people out there, don't take that Blackfoot joke the wrong way, okay? I see you in the streets. You don't know me. We going to topic 3, man, and this is just my theory. It might not be what everybody else is thinking about, but for me, new day, New England. All right, I'm looking at college coaching the NFL. Let me explain to you what this means before we start. I believe Ryan Day saved his job when he got Ohio State to the national championship. If I'm not mistaken, a day later, if not, I don't think it was the day before. I want to say it was a day later, maybe 2 days later, Mike Vrabel takes the job in New England. Right? I think Mike Vrabel came to Ohio, came to Cleveland, because I think he was looking at 2 jobs for this upcoming year. New England and Ohio State. And I know a lot of people say Mike Vrabel didn't want to be a head coach at a college. He wasn't looking at college.
Oh, he would have definitely took Ohio State.
But it's Ohio State, right?
He would have definitely took Ohio State job.
National championship contention, Ohio State. All right, we just seen what that did for Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We've seen these. Right now, Marcus Freeman is being looked at as a coach to come to the NFL. We are seeing that a lot of these college players are coming to the NFL ready to go. You got a lot of college coaches coming up ready to go. You got a lot of Bill Belichick just went to North Carolina, right?
I'm really interested in seeing how that's
Yeah,
gonna work.
me too.
We'll see. I'm really interested in seeing how that.
And I know they trying to get him back.
I want to see how that's gonna work out.
They trying to get him back in the NFL. They trying. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the reason that Mike Vrabel, I think it was between Ohio State and Patriots, is because those are the 2 things that really had his heart. You played at Ohio State. I believe they won a championship when he was here. Mm-hmm. You played in New England. Mm-hmm. For legacy, if you win another championship as a coach at either one of them spots.
For legacy ain't
come on, man.
I mean, he's used to those franchises.
Come on, man.
He's used to those companies. He's worked at those companies before. That's just like you leaving Amazon and then going back to Amazon when you want a job.
Okay.
This time I'm coming back as a manager. So
I believe that Ryan J saving his job, because if he would have lost and been put out the playoffs, I believe Mike Vrabel was at Ohio State.
Ryan Day has to win the national championship.
Well, now he's good because he got us to it.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, okay. Yeah. You know what? You're right.
Which is why I think Vrabel took the job in New England.
Yeah, you're correct.
But I think if he would have lost and not got us to the national championship, Vrabel was coming to Ohio State.
No. Going back to the Vrabel deal, my opinion alone, I think that's why we ended up hiring Reese as our OC. Vrabel was about to take him with him.
Hey, and from what I'm understanding, I don't know a lot about Reese.
I don't either, but he's hot.
Hey,
he's hot.
A lot of people is after him.
He got the saving stamp on him.
Yo.
He's a hot commodity.
Belichick was trying to get him.
He's a hot commodity.
Hey, look, he either just know
how to become a young boy.
He know how to talk his game, or he really must know what he doing.
Something about him.
Yo.
And he's a hot. He come off the saving tree first of all.
Yeah. That's good coaching. That's good coaching.
He come off the saving tree. He was an OC. and he has a lot of wins.
And the thing is, a lot of them talking about he's gonna be a head coach somewhere.
Eventually.
That's what they.
That's what everybody's talking about.
I am really curious.
Yeah, I'm
really
like,
curious.
When they were saying that, and I have not done my research, so I cannot vouch yea or nay. But I mean, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers don't lie. So I don't know. With it, I'm kind of really intrigued about that. Now we'll see who's gonna call the play. And I don't really know. I had to go back and do some research and watch some of the Alabama games, some of those Notre Dame games. Like, what did he really? What kind of offense?
Yeah. What was he doing?
What
that was
kind
so.
of offense did he run?
You know.
But the good thing about that is, as well, I hope they include him in this draft process because he just came to the league. He's been doing the college thing for years. He know all of these dudes coming out this draft. He know everybody.
Yeah.
So he has the most real foresight on, I seen him, he played for me.
Yeah, he could, a vast bank of knowledge on these players.
Everything. You know,
but they is hot on this boy, man. Like, this is.
And like, the big wigs is on. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's see.
Let's do it. Let's see.
Let's see what the eggheads can put up.
It's Fanskis and berries here. Y'all supposed to have total autonomy over this team now.
Excuse me, y'all.
It's your turn.
This is definitely their turn.
It's your turn.
But right now,
you gotta get it right.
We can't talk about Stefanski in him. I mean, I know that we got Tom recent. He was really heavy in the college ranks, but what about this college that we looking at? We're gonna do the championship game later, but right now, when you're looking at the way that this coaching is going between NFL and college, it seemed like, to me at least, it's been a very drastic pickup of college coaches coming to the NFL and succeeding. You know, a lot of college coaches don't succeed in the NFL, and we starting to see a change in that, as well as the players. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's because a lot of it is because the game's changing.
Oh, you know what? Excuse me, I said that backwards. We're seeing a lot of NFL coaches go back to college when they would have just been coordinators.
Right.
But now they're going back to college to rebuild themselves. So that's what I was saying.
No, my thoughts with that, when they go back to college, they're going back to college. College coaches make more than NFL coaches.
So you think it's money?
Yep.
You know, no prestige?
College coaches at major colleges make more than the average NFL coach.
Right. But you don't think some prestige there? A little bit of legacy? I mean, if Harbaugh would have won his championship with LSU, as good as that would have been, didn't he go to Michigan? And just alma mater? Don't it add a little bit extra? I mean, the reason that Belichick going back to North Carolina is because.
But was it because of Harbaugh going back to this alma mater and this is what I want to do, or was it because the only team that were hiring on the NFL wasn't going to pay this, and Michigan said, "Hey, we'll give you this."
I would say it probably was a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of both. It's still a business.
As much as my homeboy D Hawk
It's still a business. As much as he love the game, it's still a business.
Yeah, it's still.
And he's a great coach. But you know, hey,
I still like the things I like.
Long as I can still do what I love to do for a living. Oh, y'all gonna pay me more than them? I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm rocking with y'all.
All right.
This is a dreadful one.
So we about to switch it up. Well, this ain't dreadful, man. We about to go into the playoffs. What you talking about? Give us a quick second. We about to go into these playoffs. Let's get out of here.
Because I'm going to tell you the game I want to see. And I'm going to tell you a player that I'm rooting for real, that I really shouldn't even be rooting.
All right.
But I love the game. I love the sport.
Let's talk about these NFL playoffs. What's so dreadful? I like the matchups. We got a good upset game that I'm looking at. We got possibly one blowout, and then we got two burners. Two toss-ups.
Oh, what's your blowout?
KC and the Texans.
You really think so?
Yeah, Kansas City is going to destroy the Texans. That's over with.
You really think so?
That's over with.
You really think so?
Yo, by the middle of
what's the spread on it?
I gotta check, but I want it. I think Buffalo and Baltimore
that's the game
biggest,
of the weekend for me.
But I think they got the biggest spread, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the game of the weekend for me. Is Buffalo and Baltimore. That's the game I want to see. That's going to be the fist fight of the weekend.
You know, I'm looking at Kansas City and Texans. I think Kansas City is just going to destroy the Texans. I'm really looking at Baltimore and Buffalo as a letting down game. I think one of them teams is not going to show up.
I'm going to check the spread on that Kansas City game. Because I do think they'll beat the Texans. But I don't think they're going to dog them like that.
They're going to dog.
I'm going to see what the spread is. I will probably, just so y'all know, y'all heard it here first, I will probably take the under on that game. I will take the under. I would probably take the under on that game.
There is a world where Texas D-line is just so dominant that it rattles Patrick Mahomes and he can't make any connections. Nobody's been catching any passes.
No, that's not going to be the case.
Exactly. So there's no world where they're going to. Last time they played them, they beat them by like 19.
Yeah, I have to check it. I don't know what the numbers are. I'll find the numbers before we get up off of y'all. But yeah,
just
depending on what it is, I might take the under on it. I think they're gonna hold up. Don't sleep on Texas. Now, what's your NFC and AFC prediction?
Well, hold on, we ain't even go through the Baltimore and we spoke on it, but I think it's gonna be a letdown game. I think that it's gonna be a blowout. One of these teams is not showing up. I'm just trying to decide which one is not.
This is where I was coming in.
Is Baltimore going to Buffalo?
I know.
It's gonna be like 2 degrees.
I know. I'm excited for this game. I want Buffalo to win.
Right.
I do. I want Buffalo to win. My ultimate Super Bowl right now at this moment would be Buffalo and Detroit. I would love
Buffalo and Detroit. Yep. Why is everybody on this Detroit kick? We'll talk about that.
Because I want them to get one too. It's a sister city. It's a small market city. They ain't had no luck. If we can't get it, I'm not gonna hate on the next one. That's just like us that got up there and they doing good. I want them to go get it.
So let me ask you this.
And they've been going, and I like Campbell. I like Campbell. He's won me over.
I gotta see more. But back to the Buffalo, Baltimore.
Right.
Who you got? Oh, wait. You said
don't sleep. I got Buffalo.
So you don't sleep on the Texans, but you going with Kansas City or the Texans?
I'm gonna go with Kansas. If I'm betting, I'm gonna go with Kansas City.
Okay.
I'm going with Kansas City. I'm not sure.
Baltimore, Buffalo. You going with Buffalo?
I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Okay.
And this was my little messed up caveat and all of that. And
you got some.
All right, y'all gotta excuse me to my wife keep calling me, but
got some hot takes coming in.
That's right.
What's cool? I put it on mute so anybody have to hear you grovel. Hey, baby, you know what's going on, baby. I'm just saying, baby, please, baby, please.
All right, getting back on the right track. So, with the Buffalo, like I want Buffalo to win. I get that, but for real, like a part of me, even as I am a dog.
Right.
I'm a dog, but I do want to see Lamar shine one time. It's just something about him. I can't stand him. I hate that he plays for that team. I do. But that was my guy when he was at Louisville. So I can't just turn my back on him. Like I follow him his whole college career.
So you saying all that to say that Baltimore gonna win?
No, I just want him to win. I don't want Baltimore to win shit, but he can't win if Baltimore. So I want Buffalo. I'm going for Buffalo.
Well,
and I'm good with Buffalo. On top of that, because I was heartbroken during the Jim Kelly days. Yeah. That was my team back then.
I this game right here is real hard for me because these are two solid teams, to my opinion. But I just feel like one is not going to show up.
I don't know because you got the two MVP candidates.
That's exactly why. That's exactly why I think one is not going to show up.
You have the two best quarterbacks in the league. Patrick Mahomes is just he's the LeBron.
I can look at this.
Quarterbacks, he flips the switch when it's playoff time. Other than that, regular season, he'll get his numbers and do his thing and make sure games is won. But these are the two best quarterbacks in the league.
This can be either the game of the week or the biggest bust game of the playoffs.
It's going to be the game of the week.
Okay. I'm leaning more towards the bust game. I think that one team is going to dominate the other.
This is going to be one for the books. I promise you.
I think Buffalo. See, I picked Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl. But watching Baltimore.
This is about to be Tyson Holyfield.
You know what? It's a quarterback-driven league, especially when it comes to the playoffs. I'm going with Josh Allen is a lot.
I said Buffalo.
I'm going with Buffalo. I'm going to stick with what I said before. I'm going Buffalo.
He's been magical all year.
Yeah. And I think that he can beat you more ways than Lamar can. I know Lamar got some throws, but I don't even think they got Zay Flowers back yet. So...
But don't sleep on Lamar, because Lamar can make some throws.
He can,
man.
but you're not just
like
about to...
Everybody is just now really starting to give him this. Like, he makes some throws.
No, Lamar has definitely become...
He's nice, man.
An excellent pocket quarterback because you don't expect him to stay in the pocket.
He's nice.
But...
And you can't do nothing with him.
I wouldn't say that.
The average team can't do anything.
Yeah, the average team is so. I'll take this. I'll take this from Uncle Colin Cowherd. Is that most teams when they face Lamar Jackson, especially if they haven't played him a lot, don't realize how fast and elusive he is, and so it can get ugly real quick. But I think the same thing true of Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I think that he's so big and so strong.
Josh Allen can run over.
Exactly. And he has speed. I don't think people realize what a dominant running threat he is. Plus, he got a better arm to me than Lamar Jackson. I give him a better arm. So I just think that Buffalo is going to be able to beat you more ways. And let's not remember, they got James Cook running in the backfield. The Buffalo defense ain't weak, and James Cook is coming out that backfield.
I was just about to bring that point up. Like, I don't know, because it's like Baltimore defense in the last quarter of the season, they was trash.
Yeah, beginning of the season, they was trash.
They was trash.
Horrible.
And then something clicked in, and they been eating.
Yeah.
And they been eating. Like, the last quarter of the season up until now, they been eating. Like, they not nothing to play with right now.
They definitely
got running on all cylinders.
They doing a
lot.
As
a team, I feel like Buffalo is the more complete offense, but I feel like Baltimore is the more complete team. But I still think Buffalo will win. I still take Buffalo over it. Because I take Lamar choking. He is improving. That when it really comes down to it, shit ain't gonna fall apart.
Plus,
so we'll see.
Lamar has had some horrible playoff games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has improved, but he's been balling all this.
Josh Allen, and maybe all but one playoff game has been stellar.
But I don't want to have. So all you fans out here, we don't want to have that mentality because that's the same thing going to Monday with Ohio State. Like, oh, Ryan Day drops all the big games, and I'm not fearful going into this game on Monday. So people can't worry about and this. But I'm still gonna put my money on Buffalo because
sometimes
the Ravens.
Sometimes
I really hope they lose. If they lose and my boy get MVP again, I'm okay with that.
I'll tell you this much.
Who you think will win MVP?
I think whoever wins
this game.
Well, the MVP probably is. I would say Josh Allen. I just can't see. No, because they already got their votes in before this game started. But
you're right.
I don't think that Lamar should win a third MVP if he's not won a Super Bowl yet. So I'm going Josh Allen. But I will say that whoever wins this game, I think is going to the Super Bowl because I don't think Kansas City is going. Now on the NFC side, you got the Rams and the Eagles. You got the Commanders and the Lions.
I want the Lions. I really love the Lions, but after Jalen came in, I am really turning into a Commander.
Jay,
you know,
after Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, like, and then, matter of fact, that I talked to you that day when he came in. I'm like, hey, I think I texted him. I'm like, hey, this dude.
Yeah.
I kind of like this little dude, man.
Hey.
And he ain't proved me wrong since. You know, have his ups and downs. But I'm like, I kind of really like this guy, man. So I really want to root for him.
So we'll start with the Commander Detroit
but I don't
game
see
first.
Him, I like the Lions.
I see him upsetting them. That's my upset game. I think the Commanders are going to take out the Lions.
And I'll be okay with it. I will be okay with it.
Because you know what?
I'll be totally okay with it.
Like I said, when it comes to the playoffs,
I'll be okay with it.
especially this deep in the playoffs,
any given Saturday or something.
But your quarterback,
yeah.
Who is your quarterback? And Jayden Daniels is a better quarterback than Jared Goff. I'm going to say that.
Okay.
I'm going to say that.
You know what? I'm going to say that. I won't argue with that. I will not argue with that at all.
And so
I've been rooting for the little dude. I like this little fat man. I'm like, I like him.
If the Lions do not jump out to a 21, 24-point lead on these Commanders and just put the game away,
it's going to be about where the Lions is going to be a killer man. It's coach. And I'm not just talking about Campbell. I'm talking about the whole coaching staff.
It's better than the Commanders?
Yeah. They got better coaches. They got better coaches.
They got better coaches. Okay.
They got better coaches.
I'm going to go look at, I got to look, but okay.
They got better coaches. The Lions is one of the least penalized teams.
This is true.
They have excellent
This is true.
coaching.
This is true. They do.
From top to bottom. I'm not just talking about the head.
A battle
when
of the
I say
states.
coaching, I'm talking about coaching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your line coach, your strengthening coach,
Right.
your tight end coach,
But
your wide receiver coach. They got
They
excellent
missing
coaching
a
on this
lot of defensive players, and I understand that
Yeah.
but the competition is getting steeper now.
Yeah.
And
they are banged up.
Jayden Daniels,
They are dogs.
at least for
And
this
that
year,
boy can do some things.
at least this year, Jayden Daniels is one of those. He's a
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
He's a Ben Roethlisberger type.
He got his
He can
window.
take his team.
He got his window
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
He ain't be able to get it in.
He can take this team to the championship. So who you going with before we jump to the next game? But Commanders, Detroit. I'm going Commanders. I think this is the upset game of the week.
I rock with D-Town.
Okay.
I rock with D-Town.
All right. So you going Detroit? I'm going Washington.
I rock with
All
D-Town.
So LA and the Eagles. Now this is a very interesting game to me because I'm gonna tell you right now.
How healthy are the Eagles? I didn't look into them.
They're healthy enough.
They're healthy enough?
Healthy enough. Yeah, healthy enough.
I'll tell you.
All right. I will say this.
I'm not impressed by the Chargers.
Not the Chargers. No, not the Chargers. The Rams.
The Rams, rather. But I'm not impressed by them either. I'm not impressed by them.
Sean McVay and Matt Stafford.
I'm not really impressed by
them. Hey, look.
Like that.
I feel like this. Whoever wins this game is winning the Super Bowl. Whoever wins between the Rams and the Eagles is winning the Super Bowl.
I thought you said that between them.
No. I said they're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Whoever wins between Baltimore and Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl. Whoever wins the LA versus the Eagles is winning the Super Bowl.
It's not going to be an NFC Super Bowl. It's not.
You know what?
It's not.
I could be wrong.
It's not.
I'm not a lot. Like in my last 12 years, I'm probably like 9-3 or something on Super Bowls. But when I'm looking at the
NFC, do get it. It's going to be a fluke Lions season, and they just going to have that cast championship.
The Lions,
and I'm okay with that.
They're not going to beat the Rams or the Eagles. First off, the Rams know them too good. The Rams play the Lions tough every time, and they'll get them this time. And the Eagles will destroy the Lions in this magnitude of a game.
Yes.
Even though they're going to be in a dome in Detroit, give me the Eagles.
That
Eagles defense is playing out of his mind.
The Eagles is the most complete team in the NFC.
The Eagles is probably the most complete team in the NFL. From top to bottom. And you know what I love about the Eagles? It goes right back to our first conversation about the draft, why the Browns don't need to jump out of a tree for a quarterback. If your team is solid enough, You can put a quarterback in there and they'll work.
We'll figure it out along the way.
So, with the Rams and the Eagles, although I really like the Rams. I picked them to win the division earlier. I picked them to win their division and be in the playoffs in this position. I'm still going to roll with the Eagles. But if the Rams win,
I'll roll with the Eagles.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. But if the Rams win,
I'm not impressed by the Rams.
The Rams are winning the Super Bowl.
They're not. I'm not impressed.
Matthew Stafford.
I have not been impressed by it, and I've been impressed by Matthew Stafford. But
Puka Nacua.
I'm not impressed by it.
And this is exactly why you missed the playoffs the last time I did.
That's why I'm not worried about Kansas City. Kansas City. I don't know. Kansas City is one of those teams. They don't really care about the regular season.
Yeah.
They just want to win enough games to make sure they get to the playoffs, and they ain't gonna take off what they're gonna do. They got a first round bye. That's what they're gonna do. Make sure we get the first round bye, and we'll just take care of it from there. But
yeah, this is exactly why you missed the playoffs in my fantasy league. Puka Nacua is a beast. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. The CFP, the College Football Championship. Basically, my stance on this is the BCS was bullshit, and this year proves it. Right?
I love, for the most part, the way this worked out. I think it ran a little too long.
I like the length. It could have been shorter.
I think it ran a little too long for me.
That bye week, we don't need to be playing the college championship this Monday. We should have played it last Monday. Or do something in between there. You know what I'm saying?
Or last Friday or something like that.
But it should not be, especially Monday.
Yeah.
It should not be the Monday night football game. Now, I do understand because of how they set it up. They don't want to compete necessarily with the playoffs, with the NFL playoffs. But, so change it up. I mean, I thought 12 teams was too much, but I do like that it was 12 teams. I thought that 6 would have been good, 8 would be okay. 12, I thought, is the peak. I don't need a 16-team college playoff. 12 is the peak. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like the way, because you really end up getting the best 2 teams in college football.
Football is not a serious sport.
Playing for the championship.
Right.
These are the best 2 teams in college football.
The BCS would have never chose this.
No.
Even the CFP, the College Football Championship, when it first started, they would have never chose these 2 teams to be in the top 4, and they show you that because they ranked 7 and 8. Yep. They would have never even had a chance.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I always felt like the BCS was crap because all Power 5 champions should at least get a chance. So even if you had a 5-team playoff where the number 1 seed sat out, you know what I'm saying?
You got that 5 as a wild card.
Right. 5. The 5 sit out. That's the number 1 seed. And the 4 teams play to see who's gonna play next.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However you got to work it out. Or add a 6 team. Add a 6 team as the wild card. That way it balances out. That way that next week everybody got a game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to me that would have been cool. But 12 turned out better than I thought. I do think that the bottom 12 of the 12 teams should be more fan favorite. Appeal teams versus their records actually mattering.
Yes, we was talking about that the other day. And I'm like, I still just think you should just let the teams go, and if they earn that spot, let them earn that spot.
Yeah, but after the championship teams, though, everybody else really is a wild card. So what difference do it make?
Other dudes, they already making their money with the NIL. Let the best teams
let them get some exposure.
Maybe one day Kent State can win the championship.
If you made the last 2 teams just good teams or appealing teams to the
one day Toledo can win the championship.
Hey, maybe HBCUs can get the.
You know what I'm saying? Howard.
I'm about to say maybe the HBCUs can get their heads out their ass and join into the actual college football league, because that's the only thing that's stopping them is they don't want to be a part of that league. You know what I'm saying?
They just play each other.
Right. And we can get some of them teams. You got Eddie George. You got Hall of Famers coaching teams down there, and we don't know what they can do. Notre Dame don't even have a conference.
Yep, they say we're NCAA.
Right. They don't even have a conference.
We're in NCAA.
So does it really matter? That's what I'm saying. Like this year, personally, I would have loved if
I think we're gonna end up sucking Notre Dame into the Big Ten.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Gonna come to us and go to the 12.
Pac-12, because I mean, that's really what you got. That's 8 choices. But the Big Ten makes the most sense.
It makes the most sense. So
I would definitely say, like this year in the playoffs, I would have much rather seen some of the bottom teams at 10 and 12. I would have much rather seen Colorado and Alabama take those spots. And I'm not even a big SEC guy, but give me something that's gonna actually be juicy.
I don't want to see that because they Colorado and Alabama would have came in and they would have seen somebody and would have got just destroyed.
Well, that's what they said about.
They would have got destroyed.
But that's what the BCS said about Ohio State and Notre Dame.
They would have got destroyed.
Wait. Hold on. First off. You don't know if Alabama is still in the SEC. You don't know how good they would have competed against some of these other teams because we got teams in there like that. Okay, they was okay. You know what I'm saying? But they really shouldn't have been there. Colorado was just for name, for recognition. You got Deion Sanders and Shador. They probably would have. They probably would have. But
nobody wants to get destroyed.
There is a small chance. When you have. Hold on. Listen.
I'm listening.
When you have, and don't forget, Shiloh is not a sucker either, and they got some players on Colorado. They got some NFL caliber players on Colorado. They could have snuck a first-round victory. You got 2 of the best college players on your team where it matters. And one of them is on defense and offense because he played both. They could have made it interesting. You got what is predicted to be one of the better draft quarterbacks coming out of here. Let me see him against some other competition. You know what I'm saying? You got a Heisman Trophy winner. You got a number 1 or 2 pick out the draft. Or, excuse me, out of 2 players from Colorado, you got 2 possible number 1 or 2 picks. Or maybe 1 and 2, depending on how it works.
Top 5 picks.
two top 5 picks.
You have 2 top 5 picks.
You got solid other receivers and players on that team. Your line was the weakest part. Maybe it got exposed. Maybe it wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? They was 9-3 just like Alabama. And some of them other teams, not that they wasn't good teams, but they didn't have the draw that those 2 teams would have had as far as a college football playoff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And back to my point about the BCS would have never picked none of this. The BCS would have picked an SEC team to face whoever else was left because that was the big market and that's what you want to.
Right.
College football playoffs, they would have 2 SEC teams maybe. Maybe they would have went Big Ten or champions from every division.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
But we've seen them not do that.
The CFP was one from every division.
Yeah.
Whoever won when the CFP was going, whoever won the conference.
Right.
That's who won.
And at least this time, all of the champions got a shot.
Right.
Champion from every conference, and then even non-conference players, as we see with Notre Dame, got a shot. So this is, to me, this is going to be the first proven, even though Ohio State got some BCS championships, and I'm a huge Ohio State fan because I stay in Ohio, and I always look down kind of on Alabama and SEC championships, and sometimes they would just pick 2 SEC teams to play for the championship, which is really what made me hate the BCS. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then they do shit like co-champions. No.
Yeah, there is no co-champion.
Right. This is a true championship to me. This will be the first true college football champion. And for real, I have never been more into college football than I have been this year because of this. So we go on to the next topic. There's something else you want to say?
No, I'm pretty much in on that.
OH, let's go. Monday, on Martin Luther King Day, Ohio State. And it fit their mold so perfectly because the first CFP championship, they won it. The first 12-team CFP championship, to go ahead and win it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the first BCS, it was either them or Alabama.
I just want them to win it because I want Ryan to keep his job.
Well, his job is secure.
He gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
But when you look at the numbers,
his
the
job,
guy not doing a bad job at all. So
at all.
At all. But, hey.
When he signed his contract, when Mike Vrabel signed that contract, his job became secure.
Yeah. But you know what?
And Tyrese.
I'm gonna end this with this.
All right.
No, I've gotten in. I'm not gonna say arguments, but debates, serious debates with people, because they would rather. I don't care about a national championship. We just gotta beat Michigan. What are you talking about?
Oh man, don't talk. Look.
What are you talking about?
Look.
And so, do not leave any comments, because I'm gonna come for you personally. I will come for you personally.
Look.
All right.
Those people. That's a whole nother.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go there. You know how I feel about that.
Don't talk to me about that.
All right.
Let's end of that.
Let's transition. It's gonna be a little rough ride, but we're gonna work it out. Watch this. There we go. There you go.
I'm back, folks.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. There I go. All right. For the main event, for the final topic of the evening, and let me go ahead and do this. We got to talk some man talk. All right, so our two man talk conversations is going to be Drake versus LeBron, which is crazy, and Philly man law. So would you like to start yours off first, or would you like?
I want to hear about this Drake, because I'm not even informed about this.
Okay.
So what's going on with
this Drake versus LeBron thing. So Drake came out with his latest album, latest song or whatever. He speaks on someone who is not his friend anymore, and they can never be found, but they're not who they're supposed to be. They cheated on their wife. So it became apparent to most people that he was talking about LeBron from some words he said. DJ Academics jumps on camera and says he has, he has the receipts, and that Drake has been bringing LeBron, with him. And he's been cheating on his wife for years or whatever. And
whoa.
Right.
So they came with the paperwork and put them out there like that?
That apparently academics are saying yes. That's what he's saying he's doing. Yes.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Exactly. Why?
See, this is the thing, and
I'm gonna let him cook.
Oh man, come on, man. Like, y'all can't listen, fellas. It's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to think what you think. You can have a sucker attack from here and there. We all go through that. And any man that says he doesn't is a fucking lie.
A
liar. We all go through sucker attacks, man. You can't do that, man. You can't. That's not even a homie code. That's not even a man law. That's just being a sovereign being, and like you can't do. That's what made me not personally like Kobe. That's what made me personally not like Kobe. You can't do that. You can't do that, man. That is against malehood. You know what? Hey,
so many rules.
Listen, hey, y'all check this out. Y'all follow us. The first 10 followers that follow us on whatever, we gonna see when we gonna bring back the Al Bundy No Man.
Oh yeah.
And I'll send y'all some free No Man t-shirts, man. Because you can't do that.
It's because the thing is, that
ain't cool.
Funny enough,
that ain't cool.
Drake is acting in the same way that we just had our last topic last week about the hairdresser talking about Skip paying her wanting to pay her 1.5 mil. But what the fuck do that got to do with Joy Taylor? You just want the world to call Joy Taylor a hoe. And Drake, you have took L's from Kendrick Lamar, and you mad at LeBron because he danced to the song because it's like the hottest song in the country, right? And you mad at him, and you want to call LeBron out because he's not a perfect being.
That ain't cool.
Just to what? Save the fact that, look, it was a low blow what Kendrick did because you from Canada. And to you, consent, a woman of consent starts at 16. That's what you've been taught your whole life. It was a low blow by Kendrick, excuse me, to do that, but it was the truth as far as America goes. But that don't mean
your beef ain't with Brian.
It ain't with Brian.
Your beef ain't with Brian. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You just gonna drag somebody else down with you.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Cool. I'm gonna tell you something that only. Cool. I'm gonna tell you something that only bitch niggas. Cool, I'm gonna tell you something that only bitch niggas don't know. Bitch niggas don't know that if a man has been in a relationship with a woman for an extended period of time and he has extracurricular activities going on, the woman already knows. She already knows.
She stood around for a reason.
Exactly.
Last month, so now she got him. Like, that ain't cool.
You trying to embarrass her and fuck up his life and just make sure that he look worse than you do.
That ain't cool.
Because Kendrick beat you in a rap battle.
That's why I stopped liking Kobe.
Hey man. Hey.
Personally, I still respect him.
Hey y'all, we caught.
But that's why I stopped fucking with Kobe. Like you snitched on Shaq for what?
For what?
For what?
Leave that man.
Don't like that. You ain't got nothing to do with that.
Leave that man his business alone, bro. Let that come out. Let them skeletons come out the closet when they're supposed to come out.
That's not cool.
That ain't cool at all.
That's not cool.
At all.
No good.
And
no bueno.
So Drake put the subliminals out in his songs. People dissected it, said that he was talking about LeBron. And then academics jumped on there. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker jump on there.
Go for you, man. Don't do that shit, bro.
Hey.
You know who I'm talking to. Because it's one of y'all that's on that shit.
Hey, man.
I promise you it is. And it ain't
this fat,
don't do that shit.
This fat sucker motherfucker. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Don't do that shit, bro.
Your mixtapes wasn't hitting like clues, so this is what you resorted to.
That's not cool.
It's you gotta.
You can get them another way.
Come on, man. It's just bullshit.
All right. So now I get to my point.
Let's go to the Philly man law.
The Philly man.
This was an interesting topic you brought up to me.
I'm pretty much, a lot of y'all done heard the basics of the Philly dude that got into it with the chick at the game and all the repercussions he went through.
Right.
I got a few different views on this.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that don't know, so a guy was at a game. They had Philly. They had some Green Bay fans right in front of them in the stands. I guess him and the chick was going back in banter and all of that. So, but her husband was there with her. It's her and her husband. Her husband is a content creator. So they went there to create content. With their whole Green Bay, that was their whole purpose of going.
That was the reason to go. Bought the tickets to make some money.
They went there for that reason. They got what they wanted. And I thought he was going to be real ignorant. When I looked at the video, he just called her a dumb bitch. He did continue saying it.
Right.
And that is very disrespectful. He has since, whoever this guy is, has since apologized. And he has apologized to everybody. He done lost his job. He has a wife and kids on. His company done fired him and everything. As soon as it hit, because the content creator put it on there. My issue with this whole situation is, hey, okay, you can't do stuff like that. I am a Cleveland Browns fan.
Right.
I will go to Pittsburgh and go to a game. I have been to Pittsburgh and been to games. I have had ice and shit thrown on me. And I would just throw my beer back up. Whatever beer I got is going right the hell back up. I don't care who was behind.
A return.
That's just what we doing.
Right.
But I'm coming there with Cleveland Browns gear on. I know what I'm getting myself into.
Right.
And I'm not trying to create content. I'm just repping my team. But I know what I'm getting myself into. I don't even go pee. But I don't go to the bathroom. I don't go in that bathroom. I don't pee in it. But so they did all of that. He kept calling his wife a dumb bitch, you dumb bitch, you dumb ugly bitch. My first problem is, even if I'm a content creator, I am a married man. There is no way, man law, gentlemen, if you don't understand this and know how to be a man,
how many dumb
most
bitches
of y'all should, because if you're watching this, you're a man.
How many dumb bitches was she?
But there's no way you're going to keep, even if we came there for that reason, there's no way you're going to be able to do that, and I'm not walking out in the handcuffs.
Right.
I'm going to jail.
Something got to give.
I'm going to
Something got to give.
I'm going to jail.
Yo.
I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. So, but that lets you know that they went in, but they ruined this man's life. Not only to the point to where he got fired from his job. They have his wife's name, his kids' names, his address. Everything is on the internet for everybody to see.
In this temperature and this climate, we do have to address.
Is that what we are really out here doing, people?
Before we even go to what we're doing, we do have to address the ethnicity of these people.
Because they were all Caucasian.
Okay, all right.
They were all Caucasian.
We got to make that known. Just because
they were all white people.
Where we at?
They was all white people. But like still, it doesn't matter. We're still all humans. You know, and as men, we're still all men. And it's a lot of people, and I can't confirm it or deny it, but I've heard there's a lot of people that was in that section that was like, no, they was going back and forth, and she really egged them on. She probably triggered them.
I mean, she probably did.
And not to mention, I forgot to say, or I might have told you that. Even when he was acting, calling her a dumb bitch and all of that, he even looked at the husband. What you gonna do? You gonna do something?
Okay.
And the husband said,
trying to egg him on.
Nope.
Trying to egg him on.
Yeah, nope.
I'll say this about the situation, and I apologize if anybody been listening. It might have been a hum going through there because I forgot to turn the power supply off, but my fault. But anyway, we through it now. We at the last part of the show. I told you it was gonna be a rough ride. We rolling, but I would say this about this Philly man law. If you was calling her a dumb bitch and her husband was there, you probably was telling the truth. Because if she had a husband who would let another man call her a dumb bitch, and that's the man she chose for fortune or fame, that's dumb bitch shit. You got to turn that around. You got to turn to the back. But what I will say on that whole situation is that just because you was right in calling her a dumb bitch, don't mean you was actually pulling off man shit. Why are you arguing with her in the first place? You know what I'm saying? If it's coming to an argument, blah, 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 and it's getting a little too serious, you're supposed to leave it alone. That's a woman. And women have the privilege and the opportunity to go a little bit a step too far. It's up to you as a man to step back, because the minute you call her a dumb bitch, you open yourself up for a whole new can of worms that wasn't going to be worth it. Wasn't going to be worth the check. You know what I'm saying? The minute you call her a dumb bitch, you open yourself up to, what if her husband did jump up and try and swing on you? What if she spit on you or swung on you? Now you got to smack her or whatever, fight the husband. You may or may not can beat. I don't know. I didn't see the video or nothing. This is a story that he brings him. But just on man law. Man law is about being a man. And a man, you got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. If you have yourself in an argument with a woman,
walk away and know when to run,
yo,
I was trying to tell you.
Once it gets to a point where you got to call her a dumb bitch and it's not your dumb bitch, you out of pocket. You out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of if she is a dumb bitch because she got a husband who's going to let somebody sit there and call her that and he just going to record it.
You still have to have.
That's your protector?
You still have to have the strength of the crown that you have on your head.
Yo, king for a reason, man. You got to understand where you at and what you doing.
Man, you were king.
When you woke up that morning, did you plan on going to the game and calling a woman a dumb bitch? Was that your goal when you bought that ticket? A playoff ticket?
Yeah. I just spent $300 on this ticket and probably another $300 on the ticket with somebody that's with me. I just spent $600
to call somebody a dumb bitch?
A dumb bitch and lose my job.
Come on, man.
And have my family.
You set yourself up because you did not follow man law. Man law. You don't argue with women, especially when they're with other men. You argue with the men. And you let them argue with a woman. Why you set me up to fight this nigga and get my ass whoop a shot or whatever? You know, whatever the fuck happened. Excuse me. But life is real. You failed your man law. Go back to school, bro. Go back to school. You did not pass the bar. You and Drake. Drake got millions of dollars and he trying to air niggas out. And you got whatever you got, and you at the game, Philly playoff game, and you more worried about calling some woman a dumb bitch than you is about enjoying your time for the money you spent.
In synopsis, gentlemen. I'm just speaking to the gentlemen, because it might be a lady or two that's listening to it. But gentlemen, we cannot let 2025 be the year to suck. We can't do it. We're not going to do it. We're not going to stand for it. So everybody in your circle, anybody in your circle, when they acting like a sucker, tell them to pull their big boy pants up. And that's your job. You are your brother's keeper. And we can eliminate a lot of this.
A lot of it. Suckers done had this shit for too long. They had it for about
we can eliminate a lot of this.
Probably the last 10 years strong. Suckers been winning, man. But that shit
and that's
over.
That's why the queens are running the world right.
So that shit over. And all what they looking for? A fucking man.
Yeah. So
yo, we about to get up out of here. Thanks for stepping in.
For the actual real man